Hello and welcome back to Blue's Armoury, where today it's time to talk about the Red Hood. Let's get into it. So it's been a while since my last Red Hood update, and we left the Red Hood in a bit of a weird position. I was so excited and making great progress with the costume, and then I had two pieces arrive and they weren't quite perfect and things kind of weren't working out the way I thought they would. So I was getting a bit disheartened with it and I didn't think I'd be able to make it in time for Comic-Con. But I decided to knuckle down, get the things finished, and try my best to make this work for Comic-Con. So I was about to say a few, there's a lot of updates to talk about, and even maybe a full costume test. But let's start with the helmet. Helmet's the easy one to start with. So this was the easiest one to knock off the list. The lights have now been glued into the helmet. They now light up. They're all working fine. It's not my most beautiful job. It's a little bit uncomfortable to wear and I literally cannot see. I've also added some extra elastic into it because there was a problem that it was shifting side to side on the back plate. Now it does not move. This helmet is done. I think it looks great. I love it. That's number one change. Perfectly easy. The rest of the changes, a little bit more complicated. Next up, guns. YouTube is not going to like these, but look, these are the two guns that I have for the Red Hood. They are black plastic toy pistols. They are two different ones because the company I bought them from sent me two different ones, even though I asked for the same one. But they've got the silver tops. They look all right. That's the guns done. Right, next thing I want to talk about is the neck seal. Now, obviously, I ordered this beautiful piece from Shadow Studio FX, and I love it, and it's so beautifully made, and I made a whole video about talking about how lovely it was. But as I was trying on the costume, I just kept looking at it and it sat so large on my neck that like it wouldn't go up into the helmet. So it was kind of poking out and it would wobble a bit. And I really wanted a tighter, more snug fit. And I didn't really know what to do with it. So I went to the knowledge of all neck seals and urethane and cowls, the Batman costuming Facebook group, which I'm a part of. And I asked them, I was like, what do you think I should do? It's too big for me, and people just said cut it, and that was like 4 or 5 weeks ago. I put it off for so long because, you know, I spent a good $70–80 on this thing, and it's a really beautiful piece of work. I don't want to just go at it with scissors. So I went at it with scissors. Look, this was the only way I was ever going to make it work. I cut it down the back. We've sized it down so that, this is going to sound horrible on the microphone, but it does now sit much more snug on my body. It looks better, it fits me, it contours, it fits inside the helmet. It's fantastic. Now these don't sit properly now, but as you'll see in some photos, that doesn't matter anymore. So basically because I couldn't quite get it to work right, what actually is happening is now the neck piece, the neck seal, is going underneath the bodysuit, and then it's just going to pop out and it bulks out the shoulders a little bit. Speaking about bulking out the shoulders, we've gone without the muscle suit. It wasn't looking completely right. The chest was looking great and the shoulders were looking great, but the abs I just did not do a good job of. It's a learning experience. I'd not made a muscle suit before, but I don't like how it looked. I'm no longer a fat boy. I've lost a decent amount of weight in the last sort of 4 months, so I can actually wear the bodysuit without looking like a potato. So that's what we're going to do. A few other things we need to touch on. The holsters. I could not get a left-sided holster, and I couldn't find a nice 3D file that I wanted to use. So we're probably just going to go with one holster. It's not comic accurate, but it's also not comic accurate. There are artists that have drawn Jason with just the one holster on the leg. There's obviously, he famously has the two, but I think the one looks all right. And I think that's kind of everything. I've given the boots a scuff up. I need to weather the trousers a little bit. And then, oh yeah, the jacket. We haven't spoken about the jacket yet. I'll go get that. Now, if you think back to the jacket that I previously had, it was huge when we did that costume test down there. The jacket was huge. It looked awful. It looked like I was wearing some kid's dad's jacket. So I took it to my tailors and told them that I needed it fixing. And they have done an awesome job. You'll have to look at the pictures, but it now sits at the waistline. I can't even really show you. But yeah, it's overall much shorter, and they've done an incredible job of keeping the stitching and the lining and everything. It looks amazing. And that's kind of it. So we're getting close to Comic-Con. I didn't think I was going to get this finished, but I'm going to show you some photos now that I took in the Red Hood costume. And, well, let's see what you think. Have a look at these photos. Na na na, da da dun, da 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 dun, 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 da da dun. What do we think? I think it looks all right. There are lots of changes that I wanted to make that I'm not going to be able to make before Comic-Con. I've even got a new belt buckle that I'm maybe going to try and just stick on last minute. But I think it looks all right, and I think my biggest thing is comparing it to my previous versions of the Red Hood that I've done over the years. So here is my Red Hood from 2018, 2019, and then we're going to compare it to 2025, all three of them on the screen for you now. And I think we have made some changes. We've definitely upskilled, we've definitely added some cool new bits, but there is a lot of work still to be done. Either way, I'm still going to wear it to MEFCC 2025. I don't know if I'll last all day in it, mainly because in this helmet, I literally cannot see, and I'm going to need Jess to handhold me around the convention floor. But there we go, a quite big Red Hood update, but it was well needed, and I'm glad that we've made some progress on it. And like my Daredevil update that I did recently, we've kind of finished 2 costumes, and if you include my Imperial Officer, in the span of less than a year, I've knocked out 3 costumes, and there are some other things that I'm working on as well. I need to make Jess a new Mandalorian because she has also lost an incredible amount of weight and worked very hard for it, but her old Mandalorian does not fit her anymore, so we need to do a new one of those, which should get me back into a bit more Star Wars-ing. Anyway, that is it for the video. I hope you enjoyed watching. I hope you've enjoyed this series. If there's any more characters you'd like to see me attempt to make, please let me know down in the comments below. And also, why not subscribe to the channel, because it really helps me out. So have a great week ahead. Happy crafting. I'll see you on the next video. Goodbye.